The Cuisinart CSB 175K QVC Smart Stick is a good hand blender for this price point, peaking around 300 watts. It is powerful enough to consistently provide silky blends for your fresh fruit smoothies, emulsified sauces, baby food, and more, given its awkward design. However, this blender cannot give us the best blending experience overall. When it comes to versatile performance, it doesn't live up to our expectation either. We've been reviewing blenders for years, and the increasing demand for quick, green meals left us wondering when we might see a good immersion blender capable of making silky blends out of solid nuts, leafy vegetables, and frozen fruits. Performance. As a mid-powered blender, the Cuisinart Smart Stick is designed for certain kinds of blended drinks, including cocktails, milkshakes, and fresh fruit smoothies. It can even handle thicker blends such as hummus or sorbet without too much trouble. Despite being the least expensive mid-range blender on our testing list, the Cuisinart is plenty quick, taking only 30 seconds to give us a creamy pot of soup. Still, we were only moderately satisfied with its performance. The soup was not really well pureed, so it looked slightly chunky. After we drained it through a strainer, we noticed many food chunks still remained unprocessed. Even worse, we got lots of splatter throughout the blending procedure due to the absurdly designed blade guard. Indeed, no other blenders tested created as much mess as the Cuisinart. Smoothie. Although the Cuisinart CSB 175 Smart Stick could pass this test in 1 minute and 20 seconds, it had a very hard time grinding frozen fruits. By comparison, its counterparts, the Vitamix 5 Speed and the Braun Multi-Quick 5, could turn all the ingredients into a green silky smoothie without a struggle. The Cuisinart smoothie was acceptable but didn't have the smoothest texture. It came out rather lumpy due to kale chunks. Our straw got clogged now and then with bits that were still too big. Mayonnaise. Coming off the other test, we didn't expect much out of our Cuisinart when it came to making mayonnaise. For the most part, we agreed that a whisk attachment would emulsify sauce far better than any ordinary blending shaft. But as it turned out, of all the blenders we tested, the Cuisinart was the fastest to yield a creamy, mouth-watering sauce. It even beat the Braun's whisk attachment by about 30 seconds, though in both cases, the mayonnaise's texture was essentially the same. Still, there was a minor drawback. When the mayonnaise began to thicken, our blender suctioned itself tightly to the beaker's bottom, making it a bit trickier for us to move the blending wand around. Nevertheless, given this blender's outstanding performance, this issue wasn't a true deal-breaker and should be tolerated. Almond milk. This Cuisinart performed fairly well in this test. Besides being the fastest contender, it also blended quite uniformly. While it did create suction and cause a humble mess when we lifted the blending wand upward, it sustained a nice vortex, so our liquid didn't overflow. In contrast, the Braun Multi-Quick 5 and the Mueller Ultra Stick couldn't produce the consistent vortex. This caused the liquid to overflow excessively when we turned them up to higher speeds. Whipped egg whites. Of all the blenders we tested, only machines with whisk attachments could draw enough air into the egg whites to create a stiff peak. The Cuisinart's ordinary blending shaft, on the other hand, just gave us a cloudy liquid made of 2 layers, bubbly film and eggy water. We awarded this blender no points for this test. Design. This Cuisinart is a well-priced device to suit the needs of many users, though there are some limitations in its overall design that entirely dissatisfied us. Like most immersion blenders, it can only run for a limited amount of time, 60 seconds before. Speed and controls. At first sight, we thought this blender would be very easy to use since its 2-button interface looks really intuitive. Unexpectedly enough, we couldn't figure out how to activate the device until we consulted the user manual. Not only that, but we also needed quite a lot of practice to operate it smoothly. Unlike others, this blender has an additional locking button which acts as a safety mechanism. The locking button must be held down along with the operational button. That paired button operation forced us to use 2 hands, in some cases certainly not what we'd call user-friendly. Blending shaft. The Cuisinart's blade has 2 prongs, one sharp and the other blunt. Although it isn't as high quality as the Vitamix, it can withstand consistent use. It even defeated its higher priced counterpart in our mayonnaise test despite being the underdog. A metal housing partially covers the thick stainless steel blade to keep splashing to a minimum. This blade guard, however, left much to be desired in our test due to its awkward design. Rather than being a solid piece like others, it has several small holes which significantly degrade the shielding's effectiveness. Not only that, but the metal blade guard also caused scratches on the blender's original beaker in its smoothie task. This is too awful even to be imagined. Although this blender is mostly made of plastic, its motor body looks and feels as solid as the stainless steel wand component. Even so, it may become discolored with use. The stainless steel blending wand is built well enough to endure regular use. So far, our blades have shown no signs of rusting or dulling, but we have found a user's complaint about her blade that snapped in half after just 2 months of use. The controls are of decent quality. They are easier to press than those of the Braun Multi-Quick 5 and seem to be much more durable than the Mueller Ultra Stick. Other than an awkward power button, to be discussed later, we were quite pleased with this unique design. Beaker. Made of eco-friendly food-grade plastic, the beaker is entirely safe for use with any ingredients. It's top-rack dishwasher safe but doesn't resist shattering, so we still recommend washing it manually to avoid any possible damage. Since it isn't designed to withstand high temperatures, you also shouldn't use it to blend hot liquid. Besides the measurement marks, a wide pour spout is also a nice feature of Cuisinart's beaker. When we used it to pour out the smoothie, we experienced less spillage than with other blender jars. Power cord. The power cord has a reasonable length. Its plug is polarized, so it will only be inserted one way into your outlet. For ultimate cable management, Cuisinart also included a nylon zip tie. Usability. Cuisinart packs its blender with many unique features to create the most enjoyable blending experience for the users, and we appreciate this effort. However, none of its things really impress us, with the exception of the blender's cleanability. Ease of use. At first sight, we thought this blender would be very easy to use due to its simple designed interface. Unexpectedly enough, however, we couldn't figure out how to activate the device until we consulted the user manual. Not only that, but we also needed quite a lot of practice to operate it smoothly. Blade assembly. To set up our blender, we attached the blending wand to the motor body until they clicked. When blending was complete, we removed the wand by pressing the release button and pulling it out. The pulling force is relatively large compared to other blenders we've had our hands on, so this one was tough to disassemble when our hands were oily. Handling. The Cuisinart's handle has nothing particularly special. It doesn't have a rubber layer like the Vitamix or the Braun Multi-Quick 5 to help you maintain a grip. On the bright side, it is ergonomically designed to protect your hand from fatigue. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching.